Here we go. This is Pro Smoke Bets. Hey, listen, my name is Harry, and this is a first take on the fight with Canelo versus Crawford. And we have Terrance Crawford defeating Canelo. We're not going with no draw. We're going to rely on him being a heavy-handed puncher, moving up 2 weight classes now. We know that Terrance Crawford last fought at 154, right? He's got the super welterweight title, and he's moving up. He's moving up 2 weight classes to face Canelo. And I think this came about by Turki Al-Sheikh. You know how? Turki Al-Sheikh with his remote control, right, back home, you know, in the rich walls painted in that home with the theater set, with the sound bar on blast, where he hears Lara and Canelo going at it. Yeah, you know, at a weight class of super welterweight. And he says, man, you know what, Crawford, they did you dirty, my boy. You have not had big money fights, and you're so deserving. You're so slick, right? He's so slick. He's so fast. And that, I think, is what Turki Al-Sheikh saw. It's funny because what he also sees is Terrance Crawford, man, you see the weight classes he's fought at. He can be excellent at the lower echelons in weight, whereas Canelo, man, right? Middleweight, super middleweight, and higher, right? He's proven to go higher. So he's crashing these titans together to see the best of the bottom and the best of the top weight classes, right? Heavier weight classes in these guys. And you know, from the looks of it, man, it looks like it is intriguing to think that Crawford has stated that he feels strong. And that is something people are not thinking about when they are simulating this fight somehow with stats, margins, whatever it is you're doing to see what particular edge you have here for a good bet, because you want to win, right? I think what people are definitely using to create deviation in their statistical analysis to find an edge on this fight, whether it's rounds or the money line, or maybe a prop like, you know, Terrance or Canelo by decision or knockout, right, or a particular round, is the speed that Terrance has, how slick he is, how he's going to fight on the outside, right? We already hear Canelo in the pressers saying, yo, I need you to really, you know, find this fight, bro. You don't want to end up like these boys like Skull, right? Skull, whatever his name is, right? The Cuban boxer he just fought, who definitely outpointed Canelo, but was not aggressive enough. And that style wasn't friendly for him either. This is why he didn't look so good with Canelo. Canelo was not so happy about the fight either. But, you know, if whether you outscored Canelo, brother, you need to show aggression, because if you don't, it looks like you're intimidated. You're afraid of Canelo, right? So these variables are incredibly important, right? Because, you know, in the big picture of things, people are forgetting that going up in weight classes, you might feel more comfortable in your power as well, all right? That's the crux. So it's not only the speed that Terrance Crawford has, it's the power, man, that will translate. And if you know, as of late, the last 3 fights that Canelo has had, he's absorbing more hits. Go watch tape, watch film on him. He's absorbing more hits. You know, the power's piercing right through the guard. So who is Terrance Crawford, right? Why is he going to win? A counter-punching, power-punching switch hitter, right? Who has power in both hands and comes forward. He draws data. If you notice in rounds 3, 4, and 5, he's like downloading data early, and you see a formula come about where it's like plugging into a quadratic formula that gives you a result for offensive and defensive boxing. And, you know, I like that Dana White and the UFC is involved in this, man, and he wants to be the CEO of boxing because of the matchmaking that could come about if Terrance Crawford wins. And we're going to get into what we know about Canelo too and his style, right? But cerebral, man, with a lot of respect, man. This guy has high IQ. Terrance Crawford has high IQ. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but Terrance Crawford is being stripped of the WBA, right? 154 pounds when he fights Canelo. So the belt's going away. And there's a guy named Abbas Barao. If you Google him, Baraou, he will be ordered to fight the nemesis to Terrance Crawford, Jermell Charlo. Okay, Jermell Charlo, a lot of people don't like him because he's very inactive. But he can sell fights. He's about his age, respectively. And despite Turki Al-Sheikh going public and saying, Terrance Crawford told me 2 months ago that after this fight, whether he wins or not, he's retiring. It's not going to happen. Immediately after this fight with Canelo, man, you will see that fight with the German. All right, up and coming. So there are fights that can be made here. And that fight with Jermell Charlo and Crawford, that would sell. But then again, you have Jake Paul in the mix. You have Ilia Topuria. Topuria just came out publicly saying, I'd like to box Terrance Crawford. What a fight that would be. And with Turki Al-Sheikh and Dana White being friends, shaking hands, kissing babies, I mean, I'm predicting Sean O'Malley will fight Rolly Romero. All right, Rolly Romero. So this is the skill set, the tactical vantage point. This is the narrative. This is the political ploy, whatever, if you will, right, that I am sharing with you as to why I think Terrance Crawford will defeat Canelo Alvarez. So who is Canelo Alvarez? We know him as a counter puncher, a great counter puncher. And this guy's going to have to make the ultimate decision if he wins. If he defeats Terrance Crawford, he's either going to have to face Jermell Charlo, or he's going to have to see who the winner of Bivol and Benavidez is, or he's going to have that defensive bout with the Frenchman who's fighting on the same fight card. I forgot what his name is, Mbili or something to that effect. Or he could do the crossover with Jake Paul and things of that nature. Chris Eubanks Jr. is a very popular boxer, and he had a great fight this summer, if I'm not mistaken, and early summer or late spring. And what a fight that was. He's incredibly popular. The Wembley would be sold out overseas. But, who knows, man? Canelo wants 70 fights, he says. He wants 70 fights and then he retires, right? But, wow, amazing head movement, good defensive awareness, has faster hands like you wouldn't believe. Slower on the feet, has a small gas tank like we've talked about already. His guard is being pierced through as it is. Who knows if that has to do anything with receptiveness? Who knows? Old aging? I'm not sure, right? But he's less heavy-handed on average, but could definitely crack an opponent. Could he crack Crawford? Like I said, that man is a mastermind. He's cerebral, and yes, I mean, I would like to think about Golovkin. He could crack just as hard if he really goes for it, right? So that's what I think this is going to be like, man. I like that Crawford, man. He's got the mid-range. He's got the short-range boxing. He's got a lot going for him in this fight, man. If you bet this fight, you take Terrance on the money line or a draw. Call it a day and enjoy the fights. There's a lot more that can be said. Listen, if you go on ProSchmoBets.com, you click on picks, I'm going to have a write-up, a technical analysis, skill for skill on how this plays out. Okay, we're talking fight sequences, shot selections they possess. You got to remember, too, man, that Terrance Crawford has a lot of tape on Canelo. Him and his camp do have a lot of tape, okay? And he's a studious man, this guy. He's very fair, this guy Crawford. And I pretend, personality, just like Charlo and his, the nuisance, that is, the irritability that is between Crawford and him. I really think he believes Canelo to be a pest. I really do. I think Crawford thinks Canelo is like a young schmuck. All right? That's just my opinion. I'm telling you, man, the bet here is Crawford, especially when half the world is betting Canelo. That's crazy. All right, fellas? So you heard it here first. ProSchmoBets.com. Let's go, Terrance Crawford.